Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Tower of God New World. In today's video, we are going to talk about the SSR Plus non-stop limit break event that is going to come by the end of this month. So if you guys don't know, we are going to have another non-stop SSR Plus limit break event, which is insane. And Kaiser is going to be included in this non-stop SSR Plus limit break event, which is really, really dope. Now, a lot of people are pretty much saying, Kaiser is definitely going to be the #1 pick here because, she's like the best DPS unit in the game. But the thing is, there's like a lot of things to take into account. Number one would be what's the state of your account? Because everybody's account is different. Everybody has different priorities. Kaiser, she can deal really, really solid damage below 3 red stars. Like, I'm using her at 1 purple star and she can still deal insane damage. So I will say, when it comes to which units you want to max out, Kaiser, of course, definitely the best pick here. But if you have 3 red stars on Kaiser, I would take the opportunity to max out another unit so that I can pretty much expand my options, because Kaiser performs perfectly well with 3 red stars. And choosing another unit like Kunadan, for example, is pretty much a smart thing to do, because you have Kaiser, who's pretty much supported by Garam or Anak or any other support character like Blanc, and then Kunadan, you can put him in light element. You can pair him up with a bomb. You can pair him up with Evan. You can pair him up with Hats, Yi-Ring, whatever. So Kaiser, of course, she is, the best pick, but at the same time, everybody's account is different. It's hard for me to say, pick Kaiser when I'm ignoring that, some players, they probably have her at 4 orange stars, and, wasting all of your non-stop limit break tickets to max out a unit who's at 4 orange stars, that's a waste, because you can already get, 5 copies of her through black market or, normal summon banner. So taking the opportunity to max out another character is going to expand your options, and you're gonna progress a lot easier in adventure mode. So I'm pretty much going to talk about, different options for you guys if you already have Kaiser at like 4 orange stars or 3 red stars. If you have her at 3 red stars or 4 orange stars, in my opinion, I recommend you guys to pick another unit to max out, because she works perfectly fine with 3 red stars and 4 orange stars. You can just get more copies of her throughout time. So I'm going to pretty much split this up in 2 different categories. Number one, if you have Kaiser 3 red stars and 4 orange stars, I'm going to recommend other characters. But if you don't have any copies on Kaiser, then I would pick her. So this is pretty much Kaiser with 3 red stars and 4 orange stars. So the first character I would recommend will of course be Kunadan. This guy is insane. Like, he is insanely powerful with max copies, and I feel like his value is going to increase with Kunasencio. I mean, I don't know if Kunasencio is going to be good, but based off of what Kunasencio can do, since he is going to be, a great tanky unit for light element, that's going to be very beneficial for Kunadan. So Kunadan, very, very good with max copies, and like I said, he gives you multiple options. Like, when you're progressing adventure mode and boss stages, light element is very, very squishy, but Kunadan, this guy, he is constantly spamming his ultimate. He's just crazy. So Kunadan, definitely a great pick here. Now, after Kunadan, Child Yuri. Now, for Child Yuri, I have her at 1 green star, but I've used her through the support system from my, friend, like one of my members in my guild, my alliance, and she is insane. Like, she is completely cracked with max copies. So Child Yuri, amazing assassin unit, and picking her wouldn't be a bad idea. Now, after Child Yuri, of course, we have Evankel. Now, for Evankel, the thing about Evankel is very squishy with low copies. Like, at 1 purple star, she is still pretty squishy for me. As you guys can see, man, I haven't even built her correctly. I'm going to build her eventually once I get a lot of copies on her. Once I reach like 3 red stars, then I'm going to, build her. But as up to right now, she's very squishy with 1 purple star. But this unit is insanely powerful, especially with a knock. Like, a knock just makes Evankel insanely busted. So beginner players, you guys already have Evankel maxed out because of the welcome banner, but veteran players, we didn't have the opportunity to max out Evankel through the welcome banner. We didn't have the welcome banner. So this is mostly a recommendation for veteran players. If you don't have a lot of copies on Evankel, she's a great option. She is very, very powerful with max copies. So Evankel would also be another great option. Now, after Evankel, we have Punisher. Now, for Punisher, this unit is really, really good. You know, some people would say that Punisher sucks at high floors, but the thing is, everybody's account is different. And depending on your account, if you're, let's say you're on like floor 60, floor 70, I've seen clips of people who are using him at floor 100 in my Discord server, and it's insane. Like, the guy is strong. He's a tanky DPS unit. He's literally like the best tanky DPS character in a game. Like, the amount of, you know, physical magic resistance he can apply to himself, and he can shred the enemy's magic resistance, is really, really good. Plus, we are going to have the next rarity character. I'm going to try to say his name right here. I'm going to try to say his name right. Don't roast me. Mary. I think that's how you say his name. Mary. I'm gonna call him Big T, man. I'm gonna call him Big T. I don't have time for that shit, man. Fuck his name. Big T. All right. Big T is coming soon, and a lot of people are theorizing that Big T is going to be a summon buffer. So if he ends up being a summon buffer, that's going to be a huge buff to Punisher because he summons the bull on the battlefield. So Punisher might be a great unit to pair up with Big T. Plus, Big T is green element, so this can be very beneficial for Punisher. So Punisher is definitely a solid pick. He is still cooking in my account. Like, he is just absolutely crazy. Don't regret choosing this unit. Very, very powerful. So Punisher, another great option. So we pretty much have Evankel. We have Kunadon. I feel like out of all the characters, Kunadon is like number one, besides Kaiser. Like, Kunadon is just insane. Kunadon, Evankel, Child Yuri, Punisher. Now Jin Sung. Now the thing about Jin Sung is a lot of people have been saying that, you know, Jin Sung, it's really hard for him to eliminate enemies who are very tanky, like Ghost, Flight Eric Mazino. You know, Jin Sung, he has trouble when it comes to dealing with units who have a lot of survivability. So I will say for Jin Sung, I wouldn't choose him because there are other characters who can easily pierce through enemy shields. Like, let's say Evankel, for example, or Kunadon. Like, those units are absolutely amazing. But for Jin Sung, he's an amazing assassin unit. But at the same time, it's really hard for him to, you know, eliminate enemies who are constantly activating shield. If you pair him up with a knock, he is great. Like, he can spam his ultimate multiple times. Not saying that Jin Sung is trash. He's an amazing unit. Like, really powerful. The thing is, he does struggle with units who are tanky. So Jin Sung with max copies is strong, but at the same time, there are other SR plus characters who are just on a whole nother level. And Vio, now for Vio is a strong ranged unit, but I wouldn't recommend them, and the reason why is because of Evankel. Like, Evankel just performs way better than Vio with max copies. So I will say for red element, you just want to choose Evankel. Like, Evankel is just insanely strong with a knock. Now, when it comes to tank characters, you don't want to pick tank characters for your SSR non-stop limit break event. Don't ever do that, bro, because tank characters, they're not DPS units. So maxing them out, like, you're just pretty much wasting you're pretty much wasting an opportunity to max out a DPS character, because DPS characters, they are the ones who pretty much need 3 red stars and above. But for tank units like Karaka, for example, this guy can work perfectly fine with 3 blue stars or 1 purple star. Like, he can work perfectly fine with low dupes. So don't choose tank characters. Don't choose Awaken Rack. Don't choose a Karaka. Choosing tank characters is just not a wise option, because DPS characters, they are in desperate need of copies. And support characters like Evan or Gusting, don't want to pick them because they are support characters. So tank characters, support characters, you know, don't pick them. Kun Mashni, she's great. She's great with max copies. But the thing is, the reason why I wouldn't, you know, recommend her for the average player is because of Vivi. Vivi is amazing in purple element. Like, she's just amazing. So if you already have Vivi, there's really no reason for you to, you know, go for Kun Mashni, because like I said, this is all about expanding your options. If you're maxing out a unit who's in, like, if you're maxing out Kun Mashini, who's purple element, meanwhile you have Vivi, who's also in purple element, and she is dealing great damage alongside with Joaquin, and you have Hayer who's supporting her. There's like really no need for you to max out Kun Mashini. She's like an additional bonus for purple element. So I will say Kun Mashini, like, once you max Kun Mashini out, of course she's gonna be better than Vivi. Of course. I will say that every single SR plus DPS character in the game with max copies, they're insane. But the thing is, it's about expanding your options. Expanding your options, having characters have like summoning for a character that you're lacking for a specific element. Let's say for light element, you're lacking a DPS character. So choosing Kuna Dawn would pretty much benefit your account because now you have a Kaiser who's at 1 purple star or 3 red stars for a blue element, and then for light element you have Kuna Dawn, and then for a green element, let's say you have Child Yuri or Punisher in, you're expanding your options. So I wouldn't go for Kun Mashini because of Vivi. Like, if I go for Kun Mashini, then I'm just gonna use her with Vivi and purple team, and that's pretty much it. So I would just go for Kuna Dawn, Evan Kell, a Punisher and Child Yuri, or I mean, Data Mashing is actually pretty great with max copies. Like, she is amazing with max copies, but the thing is, she can play as a stall tank unit with low copies. So Data Mashini, amazing with max copies, but the thing is, she can work as a stall tank unit with low copies, so therefore, you don't really have to max her out. So those are pretty much all the SR plus characters I recommend besides Kaiser. And like I said, if you have Kaiser at 3 at stars and above, then I wouldn't recommend you to max her out, because the reason why is if you already have Kaiser at 3 at stars, then expanding your option, choosing other characters that work in other elements is a wise thing to do. So now, if you don't have Kaiser at 3 red stars and 4 orange stars, then picking her would be good. Picking her would definitely be good because you're going to deal insane damage against bosses, and she's just going to solo content. She's going to solo with max copies. Like, her Revolution tier 4 and 5 is absolutely insane. So, getting Revolution tier 4 and 5 for Kaiser, very beneficial. Plus you have the base notes as well, a basic attack pierce increase and max cooldown reduction. Very, very nice for Kaiser. So if you literally don't have a single copy on her, then I would definitely choose her for sure. But once again, if you have her at 3 red stars and above, then I would choose another character so that you can pretty much, expand your options. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys for this video. Like, this was pretty simple. I will say for this SSR Plus non-stop limit break event, it's way more complex than the previous one, because for the previous one, Kaiser wasn't included. But the fact that Kaiser is included in this one, now it's like, it's pretty much, are you going to choose Kaiser or another SSR Plus character, which is crazy. That's how busted she is. It's Kaiser or another character. So yeah, I feel like that's like the best approach is, if you have 3 red stars, then you can pick, Kunadon or another SR plus DPS unit to maximize your damage. I wouldn't go for Kun Mashing because Vivi just performs perfectly fine in purple element. I'll just choose another DPS character to maximize, to pretty much expand my roster, pretty much. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. I really appreciate it. And I'll be catching you guys on the next one. Peace.